Welcome to the deep dive, everyone. I'm Mike.
And I'm Karen. Great to be back.
Today we're carrying on with our look into Arun Kumar Raman's fantastic blog series, 50 Mistakes, Why Most Hotels Fail and How You Can Succeed.
That's right. We're digging into another really critical point from Arun's work today.
We are. It's mistake number 31, which is all about, well, how poor financial planning can seriously limit a hotel's growth. The subtitle he uses is pretty stark, actually.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
How mismanaging finances can lead to cash flow problems, stalled growth, and long-term failure. Really hits home, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And this feels especially relevant for, the hotel owners in India listening in. We've all seen them, haven't we? These beautiful places run with so much heart.
But they still struggle.
Exactly. And often, if you dig a little deeper, the real issue is the financial management side of things. So all the silent problems kind of chipping away underneath.
Totally agree. You could have the perfect location, amazing rooms, a brilliant team. But like Arun points out, if the financial strategy isn't there, it's like setting off on a journey without a map. Doesn't matter how good the car is.
You're going to get lost.
You are. So in this deep dive, we really want to unpack why poor financial planning holds hotels back, and crucially, what practical steps, our listeners can actually take.
Okay, so let's start there. What does poor financial planning actually look like for a hotel? What are the signs?
Well, based on what Arun writes, a huge one is relying too heavily on OTAs, the online travel agencies.
Right, the commissions.
Exactly. They fill rooms, sure, but those commissions sometimes, 15, 20, even 30%? That just eats away at your profit margin. It's like a constant toll. Another big sign is not having a proper detailed budget. A clear plan for where the money needs to go, marketing, upkeep, staff.
Training, yeah.
Without that, you're sort of flying blind financially. And then there's dealing with seasonality. If those dips in occupancy always catch you out, and you haven't planned for the quiet months.
That's a classic sign, isn't it?
Definitely. It really boils down to not properly tracking what's coming in versus what's going out. You can't win the game if you don't know the score, right?
Good analogy. And the risk here, as Arun stresses, it isn't just about having a few tight months. It really jeopardizes the hotel's entire future.
Absolutely. It makes the whole venture vulnerable.
Okay, so let's talk consequences then. What does this poor planning lead to, specifically?
Well, first off, cash flow problems. Big time. If your income is up and down and you haven't built up any kind of financial cushion, you end up scrambling just to cover the basics. Paying salaries, bills, buying supplies, it's stressful.
And it stops you being able to react to opportunities, too.
Precisely. And thinking about the OTAs again, those high commissions don't just hurt your cash flow now.
They stop you investing long-term.
Right. Investing in your own brand, building direct relationships with guests. Instead, you're paying a premium for every single booking.
Which directly limits your growth, doesn't it? If there's no budget set aside for, say, renovating rooms or running a proper marketing campaign.
Or even just exploring if you could expand.
Yeah, your hotel just kind of stagnates.
Yeah.
You can't improve the guest experience or reach new people if the money hasn't been allocated.
And that can lead down a dangerous path towards debt, can't it?
Oh, definitely. You see hotels taking out loans to tide them over, especially in the off-season.
But without a solid repayment plan baked into the overall strategy.
That debt just spirals and becomes a huge weight.
And the ultimate really sad consequence, which Arun highlights, is, the hotel closing down.
Yeah.
It's sobering, but it happens. Lots of potentially great hotels fail just because the financial side wasn't managed properly. It really shows that just making money isn't enough.
No, it's not the same as building a sustainable business. That financial mismanagement can be the hidden killer.
Arun uses a great example to illustrate this, doesn't he? Comparing two hotels in Udaipur.
Yes, it really brings it to life. Shows the stark difference planning makes.
So the first one, this nice little boutique hotel, it actually had pretty decent occupancy, which sounds good on the surface.
Seems okay, yeah.
But as Arun explains, they had no specific budgets, not for marketing, not for regular maintenance, not for staff training, nothing set aside. And they were really leaning on the OTAs, giving away like 20–30% commission on bookings. Plus, they never really analyzed their seasonal trends.
So they were always caught off guard by the slow periods.
Exactly. Always unprepared.
And the result, Arun says, was tragic when the shock of the COVID pandemic hit.
They had nothing left in the tank, no reserves, and they had to close permanently. It just shows how vulnerable you are without that financial safety net.
Okay, so what about the other hotel, the contrast?
Right, the second Udaipur hotel, totally different story according to Arun. They actively focused on getting direct bookings. Yeah, managed to get about 50% directly, which obviously cut down their OTA commission costs massively. And they did have clear, separate budgets.
For things like?
Property upgrades, specific marketing drives, staff development. They planned for it. Plus, they tracked their seasonal demand really carefully.
So they could adjust pricing.
Exactly. Maximize revenue in peak season, stay competitive when it was quieter. They used the data.
And the outcome for them?
Well, as Arun points out, it was completely different because they had planned well and built up cash reserves.
They could handle the downturn.
Not just handle it, they actually survived and were able to look for opportunities as things recovered. They even managed to expand later on.
Wow, that really makes the point.
It absolutely does. The key lesson from Arun's example is just so clear. Solid financial planning isn't just about scraping by. It's the foundation for resilience, for growth, for actually thriving even when things get tough.
So this brings us to the really practical stuff. For the hotel owner listening right now, what are the concrete steps Arun suggests to fix this, to get that financial planning right?
Okay, step one, according to Arun, is absolutely crucial. Create a clear, detailed budget.
Right. Know where the money's going.
Precisely. Allocate funds properly. For marketing, for maintenance, gotta keep the place looking good, for salaries, for those essential upgrades, and importantly, plan for the unexpected.
Emergencies, yeah.
And those seasonal dips we talked about.
Right.
Build that buffer in.
Makes sense. And then linked to that, Arun really hammers home the need to cut down that reliance on OTAs, right?
He does. Focus on boosting direct bookings. That means making sure your own website is easy to use, have a good booking engine.
And giving people a reason to book direct.
Yes. Offer incentives, maybe a small discount, a welcome drink, loyalty points. Something that makes booking direct more attractive than going through an OTA.
Okay, what else? Revenue management comes into play here too, doesn't it?
Yeah. Hugely important, according to Arun. You need to be smart about your pricing. Adjust your rates based on demand, seasonality, what your competitors are doing.
It needs to be dynamic.
Exactly. And Arun mentions there are AI tools now that can really help with this. They analyze loads of data to help you find the optimal price point.
Right, leveraging technology.
Right.
And then it's not just about setting the budget. It's about keeping track, isn't it?
Constantly. Arun stresses monitoring your performance regularly. Track your revenue, track your expenses, track your profit margins. He suggests monthly, ideally. Use proper hotel accounting software. It makes life so much easier and gives you that clear picture of your financial health.
Good advice. And finally, thinking long term.
Yes. Plan for growth. That's key in Arun's view. Reinvest profits wisely back into the business. Maybe it's upgrades, better training, smarter digital marketing.
Or diversifying.
Absolutely. Look at other revenue streams, F&B, spa services, maybe hosting events or conferences. Build multiple pillars for your income. As Arun puts it, good financial management isn't just part of a successful hotel.
It's the foundation.
It's the absolute foundation for profitability and sustainability.
So pulling all this together, if you adopt these principles Arun outlines, well, it's a huge opportunity, isn't it, to really secure your hotel's future.
It really is. Get your finances in order, and you get stable cash flow, even in the slow times. You cut down on those costly OTA commissions, boosting your bottom line.
You have the funds you need to invest.
In your team, in your property, in reaching new guests. And ultimately, you build a business that can actually scale and grow without constantly worrying about financial instability.
So the big question for every Indian hotel owner listening, inspired by Arun's work, has to be,
are you really in control of your hotel's finances? Or are your finances controlling you, dictating what you can and can't do, holding back your potential? It's something to really think about.
Indeed. And making that shift, like Arun says, towards proactive, smart financial planning, that could be the most important change you make for the long-term health of your business.
Couldn't agree more. Well, this has been a really valuable deep dive into mistake number 31 from Arun Kumar Raman's series, 50 Mistakes, Why Most Hotels Fail and How You Can Succeed.
And if you want to continue learning and applying these kinds of growth strategies, we do have some excellent resources available.
Yeah, you might want to consider joining the Hotel Growth Mastermind community. It's great for deeper discussions and getting support from peers.
We also strongly recommend checking out the Hotel Growth Masterclass. It's our weekly 2-hour webinar, and it's really packed with practical, actionable advice you can use straight away.
Definitely. There's a link below to register. It's very hands-on, very engaging.
And for ongoing chats, resources, and connecting with other hotel owners in India, definitely join our Hotel Growth Hub Facebook group or the WhatsApp community.
Lots of good stuff shared there.
And finally, don't forget to follow Arun Kumar Raman on social media. He posts daily insights, tips, tools, and even AI strategies specifically for the hospitality industry. Really valuable stuff.
It is indeed. Okay, well, this is Mike and Karen from the Deep Dive, part of the Hotel Growth Hub. We'll catch you in the next one.
See you next time.